Oh, ow. Hang on. Yeah. Oh. Right, the IA. I've got to say, this new BMW i8 Roadster is a very, very good looking car. And thanks to BMW Chandlers Hailsham, I've got this for the next day. The most distinguishing thing about this car, obviously, is not having a roof. And just in case you didn't notice that, we've got a new Roadster badge on the side. The doors on this are known as butterfly doors, and they are similar to quite a few different supercars out there, but they certainly do catch people's attention. I've been standing around here and people having a look in the car, but look at it. Oh, love it. If we move back, one of the other major styling cues that have been carried over from the older generation coupe is this gap we've got between the buttress and this rear wing. Not only does this help with airflow, it's just really cool. We've got 20-inch rims on this car. An interesting fact about this, where they actually make the car, they want sustainable energy, and they've got 3 huge wind turbines. And that is some of the styling on the wheels. You can see here, each of these represents the propeller blades. To keep this car looking futuristic, BMW have split the brake lights and rear running lights to this lower portion, and following the rear buttress down, you've got the indicators. Over in the centre we've got the i8 logo, and over the other side is eDrive. Now this may surprise many people. This is actually a hybrid, and under this portion here we've got a 1.5 3-cylinder petrol engine from the Mini Cooper. We've also got, I think it's around 80 litres of storage. Going down a bit further, we've actually got 2 exhausts. One of those is real, the other one has got a speaker inside it, but it's actually piping audio from the engine, so it's not a completely made up sound, it's just an enhancement of what this car's already got. The kidney-shaped grills are rather an iconic thing on any BMW, and that's exactly the same with this car. Interesting, with both the i8 and the i3, it doesn't require any cooling at the front because there's no motor under here, it's all electric. So these kidney grills have been sealed off. On here we've got LED lights and they come as standard, but overall I really do like the look of this car. So I want to stop talking about this, get in that driver's seat and go and see what this car's all about. At last we're in the rather wonderful i8, so we need to get going. Foot on the brake. And that's the i8 roared into life. So we'll leave it in electric for the meantime and head out onto the open road. I cannot believe we're out in a £130,000 car.
I can't believe we're in a field in a £130,000 car.
Yeah, that's also
made entirely for the road.
So let's get going. We'll
ghostly quiet.
That is quite. We've driven a few electric and hybrids recently, but this is, I think, with the roof down as well.
Yeah, it might be getting quite a bit of wind noise, but we won't know that until the edit
afterwards. So. But we're enjoying it with the roof down. The weather's, well, it's British summer, isn't it, really? Windy and mixed.
The engine's just kicked in.
There we go, the noisy engine.
It sounds really good. It
does, especially we'll put it in sport. And there we go, I don't know where this is being picked up, but it's surprising, isn't it?
It's very surprising. All that noise is coming from a 1.5 Mini Cooper engine. It's seriously been tuned for noise, although it's probably piping noise into the cabin, to be fair.
And it handles really well because it's electric at the front and petrol at the back. You've got 4-wheel drive, and box behind us, you might be able to see it, and we can open and close it. Now we've got going, we've just popped it in max e-drive, which means pure electric greenness. So
that's really very quiet.
It's really cool though. It's a bit like a Formula E car when you hear those going. It's just something very, very unique about this car that I'm surprised about more than anything. But if you want a bit more drama and get this petrol engine going, we get the gear shifter and flick it over to the left hand side. We've got paddles now
Watch
as
these
well.
people crossing.
And we'll slow down. There's, at least they can hear us now.
Yeah.
And you get rather a rapid turn of speed there, but the petrol engines are quite surprising, isn't it?
Well, if the microphone can catch this up, this sounds great, but it's only a 1.5 Mini Cooper engine. They've tuned it heavily to 231 brake horsepower, and that electric motor is 147, so it's not massively powerful. You know, it's close on 400 brake horsepower, I think, if my maths is right, and 570 torque. But it gets you where you need to go.
It's the torque, I think, that gets you. We're coming out of a junction now, so we'll pull away now and put your foot down.
Yeah, that pulls.
55 mile an hour there in not a lot of time, but I love the torque on this car because it's electric as well as the petrol. It just surges forward. It's that once you're up and going, that is really, really impressive.
Well, it had enough power there to make my ears flap, I think.
So we're doing, it's very difficult to tell because of all the traffic we've got around here, but 30 mile an hour, that's 57. And for such a small amount of power, this thing is impressive. It looks absolutely incredible from the outside.
Well, I think that's what this market is. It's not about having the hypercar, the supercar. It's about having a very nice, amazing looking, quick, but not break your neck quick, car. It's a talking point. It is an event anywhere it goes. And we've seen how many people look at it today.
Quite a few have been out filming, dog walkers gone, right, let's come over and look in there.
A few people have come in and said, oh, you're not recording, are you? I just wanted to have a look.
Yeah.
Cut. I don't think this is really a car suited to town life at all, despite it being...
Do you not think so?
I think, well, I'm going to confuse myself there and contradict myself. I think the best place for this particular model to live is perhaps Nice in the south of France, or Monaco, or California, or somewhere where there's generally guaranteed sunshine, good weather, nice temperatures. It's 12 degrees out there now. We've got the roof off. I have a hat on because my brain is freezing.
Got coats.
Whereas, to look super cool in this, really, you want to be somewhere that is hot. I'm sure on camera this looks like a wonderfully delicious day. It's just actually quite cold.
Yeah.
There's not an awful lot of storage in this car. So if you were playing golf, for example, you wouldn't be able to take this.
No, unless you're playing crazy golf, maybe with
just a putter.
A mini putter. But we have got some reasonable storage, maybe if you're going away for a weekend. So we've got 100 litres behind us because the coupe is a 4-seater and they've ditched those rear seats, not just for storage, but mainly because the roof needs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I've got to say it's a pretty clever bit of kit watching that fold up.
Yeah, there is a bit of storage there, so for a weekend it's fine. But for longer than a weekend, I think you'd struggle.
We've only got this car for a day, but I'm so grateful to BMW Chandlers Hailsham for giving us the chance to drive around in a car that for me is completely inaccessible, £130,000. At the moment, PCP on that would scare the living daylights out of me. But I've got wheel here and I really think I'm being greedy and I need to hand the hand the wheel over to him.
Yes, you do.
In fact, I'm going to hand the entire car as opposed to just pulling the wheel off.
Right.
Because that...
I'll see you some other time once I've sold it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to pull over here and give Will a go, because this thing's... Will's getting his first proper experience of this i8. Had it about 30 seconds now.
We have, although I have driven one of these before, as I sent you pictures of just yesterday.
Let's just show it off. But you had a roof.
I did have a roof and 4 seats. But this is nice. Yeah, this is a proper 2-seater, I would like to say sports car, which I think it probably is. It's not a supercar, it's not a hypercar. It's great for getting noticed in.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to have a look at it. These doors are tricky though to get in and out of.
Not glamorous, are they?
No, I couldn't be wearing a skirt or kilt and get out of here without embarrassing myself or others.
Yeah. I think if you got out of here with a skirt on, you might embarrass yourself just generally. How are you finding these sort of bends in terms of...
It sits very well. It's very flat actually. Really flat. That is impressive. And the fact that you can't hear very much as you're... I can hear that though. Can you hear the whistle of the electric motors?
Ever so slightly, isn't it? You can hear that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I quite like that.
I do. I don't want to say that this is a show-offs car, but I think it's a show-offs car.
But it is. I mean, I think any supercar or hypercar or even this sort of car, you're not doing it not to be noticed, are you really? You want us to feel special. If you're going to spend £130,000,
yeah,
you do want a little bit to be noticed.
Absolutely. I think once you've got past the gymnastics of getting in, I mean, you've got to duck under the door, not too much of a problem, but also that sill is really wide, so you've kind of got to go sort of butt first.
Yeah.
And then scoop your legs in and you're fine. Getting out, for me, for the first couple of times, wasn't very easy.
You managed to hit your head?
Many times. But I think it's a really nice place to be. Really, really nice place to be. Oh, there's an i3 just passed us by the other way.
Yeah, we've...
Also saving the planet.
Yeah, exactly. We drove one of them a few days ago. That was an interesting going from the i3 with its technology into this.
That is a great car.
Yeah, a lot in similarity with this.
Yes, only much, much smaller. The usability of this, I think, is spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could trottle this through a town with the buses and all the rest of it and not have really any problems. You're not going to be gumming up your spark plugs and all the rest of it. Or you can use it for hooning through country lanes as we have today, safely.
Yeah.
It's got enough. You don't need much more.
I do like the ride on it. It's not too firm. It's just about right. And this carbon tub, what is it? What was the exact name? It's carbon-fibre reinforced polymer. I called it a plastic, and that wasn't very glamorous. It's a polymer. So it's got some very lightweight, very advanced materials used in this thing, which means you can keep the weight down a bit. It is going to weigh more because you've got the batteries, but interestingly, they run along this central tunnel here. All the batteries are underneath this, so it hopefully keeps some of the weight distribution pretty central to the car.
Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do very shortly is pull over where it's safe to do so and put this roof up, because I want to feel what it's like to drive in. I want to know if it's claustrophobic.
Yes, that's a really good idea, because British weather, as we well know,
yeah, you're going to be...
It's not good.
Unless this is not your main car, you're not going to be using this in weather, I would have thought.
But what we can do, if you go below 30 miles an hour, we can actually put it up while we're driving.
That's
if there's
true.
Enough of a gap that we can get down to 30. So, in theory...
Right, we are now at 30, so try that.
There we go. It's going up.
People are pointing at us, unsurprisingly.
There we go.
Oh, yes. And is it done? It's going to beep to tell us. We're in.
There we go.
Convertible roof movement complete, it says on the dashboard now. The number of people pointing as they went past. That's quite fun. This isn't as claustrophobic as I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be really low, because my eye line is quite near the top of this roof.
Yeah.
So I thought we were going to be duck into this.
Yeah, I've got at least an inch above my head now to...
And I've got slightly more. I think my seat must be slightly lower than yours, or you're taller.
I am much taller. Many feet taller.
You're 9 foot officially.
I am 9 feet tall. It'd be interesting to see how it sounds now with the roof up.
Yeah, that's always a good idea, because I reckon, to be honest, if you have one of these in...
Oh! That sounds great.
Oh, that's it, fruity. And if we open up the little rear window flap thing, there we go, so now we get some...
Yeah, that's doing it.
That's impressive, isn't it?
It is. And it's quite a lot of drama there for not breaking the speed limit.
Yeah, that's always the thing. You can have a car that does 300 miles an hour. You're not going to use it. You physically can't use it.
No. No, this feels very, very much usable on the day-to-day. But the storage is an issue for me. Yeah, I have a dog. I have a partner. But where do you put the stuff? There's a bit behind the seats, which I think you touched on earlier.
Yeah, it's 100 litres, which isn't.
But then further back outside, there's a conventional boot with another 80
litres, yeah.
So you can get your stuff in here, I guess, for a weekend. 2 pairs of pants, some socks.
But you spent all your money on the car, so you can't afford anything else anyways.
No, and it's not the most comfortable place to live in. There's not a lot of room to...
No, there's no storage anywhere. You can't... I can understand when you first think, storage bins, but you'd put stuff, open the door and it would fall out.
Yes, gravity would not be your friend with door bins.
So you've got a little glove box, this little console centre bit, which doesn't really fit a lot either. There's a wireless charging thing under this other armrest. We've got one cup holder here. Now this is
one cup holder
here. We've got one in the back as well, where they actually had there's one you can't actually reach, but where this is a 4-seater in the coupe, and they had a cup holder there as well, and they've just left it there.
Oh yes.
So now I'm in the passenger seat. It's a good chance for me to have a quick poke around at some buttons. Now Will's enjoying himself over that side. Left hand side where I've got unusually 2 air vents, one in the middle, and Will's got one over on the right. Possibly Will can direct those ones to actually defrost your hands, because I did find after a while you did get a bit chilly.
Yeah.
You sort of need driving gloves, but I'm not sure
They don't move very far, but certainly enough to please me.
Yeah, enough to defrost you partly.
Yeah.
And we've got this nice leather, and I'm hoping it's real leather. I'll be worried if it wasn't, here with some blue stitching. Again, that's to match the electric blue, and that's really classy. The lines, I love them. Very sort of futuristic looking, very curved. It's just a nice feeling, and very different from a lot of other BMWs we've driven, and I'd expect that though for the price. And also the fact is this part of this I series.
Yeah, it is like being in a cockpit,
and it needs to feel different. So over this side we've got air conditioning, we've got heated seats. Now I'm finding them quite good. I need to put mine on. I realise mine are off, so I need to warm my backside, because I think, especially
the irony
in winter,
of having heated seats with the roof off.
yeah,
With the heating on too, that's very efficient.
that's true. So we've got air conditioning, heated seats. Up here we've got, these are controls for the infotainment system. I'm not sure exactly what all the buttons do, other than being a lot of them. That progresses well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is again the safety feature this car
right.
has built in. Summing up, this car looks, wow, it looks properly gorgeous. It's wonderful. The amount of looks you get from people, I don't really want to be a, hey, look at me, but I think this car does that naturally for you. You feel quite special walking up to it, lifting these butterfly doors, climbing in, puts a big smile on your face. I really, really think this is a wonderful car, and something maybe quite timeless as well, because there's nothing else really on the road.
No, nothing like this.
I can think of. It's completely unique. Stepping in here as well, it's very well put together. It's traditionally BMW, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's nothing in here that surprises you, really. It's all very well made, very well put together.
And the performance as well is good.
Yeah,
It's not supercar 3 seconds, but I mean,
it's certainly adequate.
4.6 is still blooming quick. Price wise, is it worth £125,000? That's the hardest thing. It's difficult because there's no other car in this segment. There is no other hybrid car that will do this distance that is a convertible.
No, not at that money.
You've got the NSX, which does 2 miles, I do believe, of electric. This would do 31, 32, and that's considerably more money.
Yeah.
You've got the 918 Spider, which obviously is a performance hypercar, which is 1.5, 1.6 million if you can get one. So that really isn't a competitor either.
Thank you.
So yeah, difficult on price. What would you have one if you had the money? Will?
Yes.
You would. Simple. Look at that.
I would. I really enjoy it. It's very, very nice. You can even pretend that you're very green.
Yeah.